Hello and welcome to my Resident Evil 2 challenge run. So this challenge is completing Frugalist, Minimalist, and a small carbon footprint in one playthrough. These are done in segments, so there will be saves.
Don't move. I'll be back for you.
The beginning here, just run past the zombie. Wait for him to walk over there and then head on over to the door. Not going to be a whole lot going on for a few minutes.
Attention all citizens.
This is out of control.
None of these zombies are anything to worry about, as long as you just keep running.
Shit. It's everybody. They've all turned. There it is. The station.
So there's one zombie coming up. You gotta just keep your eye on this one standing right here. But just keep your distance and you'll be just fine.
Hello? Is anybody here?
So you don't need to examine this computer. You can just head straight to the door. So we're going to be picking up as much handgun ammo as we can.
Jesus.
Open up! Hurry! Open up! Open this goddamn door!
So here, just as soon as the zombie busts through, just keep holding forward and you'll be just fine. And this dodge here, just stay to the right. Now I go inside here to grab these items, the wooden board. When you go in, you have to kind of go in a swooping direction. If you just kind of try to head directly for the board, the zombie will most likely grab you. But if you kind of swoop in there, bait him in the corner, and then kind of swoop your way out, you'll get past him. So that's the first segment. Just going to rearrange inventory, and we'll make the first save. And then we'll be checking the step count. 556 steps so far. We'll be checking the step count at the end of each segment. So part 2. So to reiterate what we're doing with these challenges, we're trying to reduce the amount of steps we're taking. So we're gonna be very direct with where we're heading, picking up items, reduce backtracking. We'll also be taking no damage
This is not how I imagined
for the whole
it today.
game, so a lot of safe strats are used to get through just fine. So we'll be revisiting this hallway a few times. So the reason I grabbed the board before is to board up this window here, because that zombie will break through, and we don't want to deal with her later. So when you're aiming with your weapon, the crosshairs will focus into a dot, and that's a focus shot. It'll deal a bit more damage and increases accuracy. So what I like to do is I like to, for the most part, these zombies I have specific strats, so I'm gonna cut his legs off so he doesn't stand up. Dealing with zombies that are still standing can be tricky. I use the knife to conserve ammo, and I like to use it to poke to make sure they're actually dead. So we're picking up the gunpowder, and then we're picking up the side pack. And this is the only side pack we'll be getting the whole game. And then we'll be getting in Leon's desk, getting the capacity upgrade for the Matilda. It's very nice for the G1 fight, so you don't have to worry about reloading as often. And maximizing your DPS. So just grab this board, board up this window right here. Don't have to deal with any of that. So the zombies here, I try to take them out, but sometimes they'll... Oh wait, never mind. I just let him, or I just baited him to the railing, which they'll fall every time. Alright, never mind. So, picking up the spade key. First key item.
What in the...
So, we mixed these two gunpowders because we're going to have plenty of other gunpowder to mix for shotgun ammo. So, just a little extra handgun ammo to
I've got something to show you.
help out.
It's important.
Copy that. I'll be right there.
So in this run, I come to the library right after the spade key, and I think if I was to reroute this, I would come here later, but it really doesn't matter when you come here. So we come down the staircase, because if you go down the ladder, then the zombie that is busy munching away will stay busy. So she'll be the only one that you have to worry about. So take her out. And then this next guy here, he's given me a lot of trouble before. I don't know what his deal is. I used to just run up to him and start knifing him. And get a decap, or cut his limb off. But sometimes he would get me, so I just opt to shoot his leg off from a distance, just to be extra safe. I was debating what to do next. I always have to keep in mind my step count, and I don't want to take unnecessary steps. So yeah, it's kind of risky to try and take a zombie. Oh yeah, this happened. Okay. I'll let this just, yeah. Oh, my knife broke. That wasn't good. Yeah, I got a little, or I was being a little, daring there. So, this is a puzzle that we solve later when we have the correct item, but we're going to move these shelves in place, so when we do solve it, we only have to make one move. So we're going to grab the lion medallion right here. And because we need to... Well, if we walk down here, we'll start this cutscene, which will put us right in front of the goddess statue. So we'll just take care of that right now. And then while we're right here, we're gonna use the spade key on this door. So when we go upstairs and use the spade key again, we can discard it. That's another thing with this challenge is any key item you pick up, you can't put in the box if you don't use it for all its purpose. So any keys we pick up, we're going to be visiting all of its doors. I had a brain fart when I was trying to solve this. I was mixing up a number from one of the other save combinations, so I had to look at my cheat sheet. So this segment is actually one of the longer ones in the entire run. Essentially what we're doing is we're getting the spade key and then getting our upgrades that we need. And then visiting this side of the RPD. We're going to be using all the space in our inventory that we can to make this a one trip, so we don't have to come back through here at all. I also will not be picking up the Magnum. We will be getting the shotgun.
Marvin, I've got a situation here. I'm surrounded by zombies. Marvin, do you copy? Marvin! Damn it.
Alright, so grab the bolt cutters. So here we'll be grabbing everything we need out of this room in one go. This will be where we make our first shotgun shells. Let me pick up the valve handle and the fuse. Couldn't remember what it was called, as I had also forgotten to put it in the door. So yeah, that is that segment. We also held on to our ink ribbon from before so we could make this save. And yeah, it all works out. So 1,722 steps. Part 3. So now it's essentially the second swoop through the RPD to get the rest of what we need. So here, there's a zombie coming up. Again, it's one of those weird dodges where a direct line doesn't work. So here you kind of walk into the wall and then go to the left. If you just go direct, he grabs you every time. So we finish off the bolt cutters. Grab the detonator. Flash grenade. So these flash grenades are going to be used for the G1 fight. I don't consider the flash grenades to be necessary for the fight, but it is very useful. So try to hold on to them. And then here we're getting the shotgun. We're getting the shotgun now, but we won't be using it for the rest of RPD. Well, this segment. When we come back for RPD 2, that's when we'll be using it. So now the female zombie wakes up. Well, sometimes she'll be right there and you can bait her to fall, but sometimes she'll just over here. So she was in a good spot, so we were able to just walk on through. Collecting shotgun shells. Some of these areas, well, this area, like this room here, this is the only time we'll be coming into this room. So, just going to be collecting everything we need, then heading out. Oh yeah, that liquor is safe to run by every time. So when we leave, don't run. Make sure you're walking. You just keep to the right. The liquor's right there. But keep walking and you'll be just fine. So as you can see, inventory management is tricky since we can't use the item box. These first few segments for Leon's run were routed out really well. So it's obviously a lot of repeated attempts were done to get these exact runs, but a lot of it was figuring out a proper route. But once the route's been figured out, it's not too hard to do this challenge again, really. So here, this dodge I do is not necessary. Again, I was doing a swooping thing so I could bait the liquor to attack instead of like charge at me and then run away. But you can just run to the left of the liquor and you'll get away just fine. There's a lot of strats that I had to learn later that are much easier than what I do in Leon's run. So yeah, we have all the medallions. And we're going to be making a save before G1. (2,446 steps). Alright, so this segment is the first boss fight. There's not a lot of specific strategy I can give for G1. It's pretty simple, and you just have to do the fight a few times to get a feel for it, and just getting the rhythm of it down. But I'll explain what I can. I will be using the handgun for the fight, no shotgun at all. So you're just going to start firing immediately. And this is why the magazine upgrade is nice. So we can just get a lot of shots in and have not as much downtime. So the idea is to get him into as many stuns as you can, so you can just get as much damage in. You don't want to be spending this fight running around too much, because essentially he chases you in circles, so minimize that. Here he's going for a grab, so he'll just keep chasing you until he grabs you. I'm not quite sure how to interrupt it, but generally I plan for him to grab me if that happens. The flash grenades, you can use them manually or defensively. Sometimes you get longer stun animations, sometimes they're shorter. I'm not quite sure what determines those exactly. Yeah. Run around, shoot him, take advantage of. I'm not sure if firing into his eyeball does more damage, but I'm assuming it at least triggers more stuns. So obviously go for the eyeball when you can, but don't let him run away like that. He does chase after him, but don't get too close. And there we go. I had enough ammo to get through the fight, but there is ammo to pick up. So, I'll use this time to explain how the route came to be. Essentially, it was very on the fly. I had a general idea of how to go about this, but I just kind of went through segment by segment, did routing as necessary to figure out how to get through to the next areas. And so essentially this run isn't the most efficient. There are some things I would have done better or changed a few things here and there, but it's solid overall. But a lot of that came down to being prepared for the final boss fight, and I honestly wasn't as prepared as I would have liked to be, but I did with what I had, and I made it work. So, but I'll get more in depth with that when we get there. So, be making a save. So 3,208 steps. I felt pretty good with that step count at this point in the game, so I wasn't feeling too worried about having enough to work with. So Leon's RPD basement is rather boring. I remember trying to do this segment quite a few times, and yeah, seen this enough. So I was taking care of him, and you don't have to decap him because you're going to be using a flash grenade, which will take care of him, so not necessary. So Leon has dogs to deal with, and kill the dogs in these kennels here, so we don't have to deal with them later.
Just
So for as far as handgun ammo goes, actually, we're skipping the diamond key. Leon does not need to pick it up whatsoever. The diamond key essentially gives Leon a photo and an item that will get you a side pack, which we're not getting, so not required for this. So, solve the puzzle, and we're grabbing the first cube. So here, just make sure you're lined up straight when the dog is coming, so you get the shot in. And then, yeah, run up, shoot that dog. Those two dogs appear those ways, or the same way every time, so just know where to aim. So these zombies in here, they don't wake up until you pick up the diamond key. So we never grabbed it, they never get up. So we can grab these shotgun shells on our way by. So for the second trip in the RPD, we're going to start using the shotgun. The base shotgun, you have to be very close to decapitate zombies. Often you'll see me decap a zombie and they will still like fall over onto me. Kind of show how close they got. Like that. So if a shot does not decap a zombie... Oh yeah, I accidentally shot that zombie that was munching. So that's why he got up. But I'm standing in a separate room technically, so the zombie doesn't know I'm here. So what I was saying was, if you shoot a zombie and you don't get the decap, a couple of pistol shots should finish him off easily. If you want to save on your ammo. Yeah, as you see, you have to get really close. So we're dealing with all those zombies in there because we'll be coming back through. It didn't go as smoothly as I usually like, but we made it. So we're going to be passing, I think we're going to be, let's see here first. Yeah, so we're going to be passing the room that holds the large gear. It would be faster to grab that now and use it for later, but it takes up 2 inventory slots, which is hard to deal with, so we need those 2 extra slots for other things until then. Here, you can get easy decaps on these guys, or at least the first guy. And then, hopefully she isn't too much trouble. So, because I had the room, I grabbed the key before the save. But if you don't have the room, you can make a save, and then with the ink ribbon gone, you'll have room for the key. Anyway, 4,316 steps so far. It's nice that Leon has this save room that he gets when you get the club key. Otherwise, this segment would be very long because there's just no good place in between to save without wasting steps. Alright, so our first encounter with Mr. X. We want him to follow us here. We don't want him to lose aggro and run away. So we pick up this board, and we're going to be using it right away. Coming down here. So these 2 rooms here, Mr. X will not follow you in here, so you're safe. Yeah, we come in here to just pick up the ammo and gunpowder that we want. And also to use the club key so we can discard it later. So you have to deal with Mr. X like normal. Pay attention to where he is and deal with him accordingly. We don't want him backing us into a loop, or essentially making us like take a longer route towards our next destination. But generally, if we're quick enough, we can just get to where we need to. And yeah. So here you go in the room. Make sure you're running so the licker hears you. Leave the room. And when the door closes, when you go back in there, that licker will be gone. Decap that zombie. You can use his sitting up animation there to get an easy decap. So done with the club key. Grabbing the jack handle. So when you come in here, Mr. X will find his way here. So we're gonna head straight to the library and use the jack handle. So yeah, we get to use the item and quickly move the shelves for a safe getaway. So that guy, he kind of shifted to the left and he grabbed me, and that was not cool. So this room, Mr. X will not follow you in here. You're safe. So ideally, you want to decap all these zombies, but oftentimes they get you, so. So we had to bait Mr. X back into the library so we can run over here and get the large gear. Now this is not ideally how you want to deal with these guys, is at the door, but you need to be quick because Mr. X will find his way back to you. So I think, yeah, I went for a very risky dodge here. Yeah, but there's just enough room to swoop around. So we're just going to be solving the puzzle here. So back here is a large gunpowder. Mixing those with the blue gunpowder will give us a higher yield of shotgun ammo.
Hope I don't have to write a report on this.
So ideally, oh good, he was down on the first floor. So ideally you want to head back this way, but you can head back either way after you get the other cube conductor. Oh, yeah, I guess I had made a, I don't say a routing error, but oftentimes I would grab things not knowing if I would be able to hold on to them until I could use them properly. So I never got to mix that large gunpowder. Oh. I don't think I had a plan for when my next save was, so I think when I got to this point, I remembered that there was ink ribbons in there, so I'll grab those real quick so I can duck in here and make a save. So 5,896 steps. At this point, yeah, coming up on like about the halfway mark for what you have to work with. Not much going on here. It's just a long walk to the next puzzle. Never mind. I didn't deal with the dogs yet. Alright, so yeah, I didn't plan this, but I walked through the room and I noticed they were all grouped there, so I decided to huck a nade at them. And it worked out. honestly a waste of a grenade, but for the situation, it's I want to call it a waste, but it worked. I rather enjoyed these puzzles in this game. I thought it was a clever little idea. Alright, so
What are they after? That's not good.
make our way out. Pull the lever. Bunch of zombies down that way. We're not going to deal with them. And then our good friend shows up.
Give me a break.
Just bait him around the room. And then here, so I found out that these zombies here, they actually spawn because you come this way. They're not part of the original group. I'm not sure why I opted to shoot them with the shotgun, but I guess at the time that's what I chose to do. I guess I didn't really have anything else, honestly. I just wanted to get through them quick.
Is that the intel you needed?
Unfortunately, no. Ben didn't come through.
Well, what exactly are you looking for?
More info on the people responsible.
So not a lot going on for a few minutes. This is essentially an auto scroller.
Going through
with
that
Ada.
laptop looks like the only way. What a mess.
Yeah, and once this oh yeah, so we're picking up the accessory for the shotgun. Yeah. Yeah, I was still routing, but in this video I just went through the segment and called it good, so I decided that the weapon upgrade, the shotgun upgrade, was worth it,
Heard of the
which it
Umbrella
is. It
Corporation?
deals more damage
They're a
and
pharmaceutical company
you
secretly
have
making bioweapons.
more room to work with
They have a virus.
decapping zombies, so you don't have to get so
Towards
close.
indestructible monsters.
That explains the horrible things I've seen.
But anyway,
And that's why I'm looking for Annette Birkin. She's the
after
one
this segment is
responsible
Ada's
for
segment,
virus.
which
Bring her down.
there's not a lot to it.
This is how we get to Annette.
I'm not going to be really commenting on the puzzle solutions. That's not what this is for. It doesn't pertain to my challenge,
Real
so
scientists being down here.
According to
it's pretty self-explanatory.
Come on. Sewers are run by the city. How could they have a facility without the authorities?
I guess as a general note, I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to be wasting my steps, so I'm pretty good about being direct with that.
Sure as hell. Hope so.
But at the same time, I knew that there has to be a bit of a leeway to work with. This was the first time I went through doing the challenge, so I was just cautious, but anyway.
What's down here?
So almost hit that halfway point for steps. So yeah, alligator sequence, Ada, until the next save. I don't think I'll have a whole lot to say, so.
It's not too late to turn back, Leon.
No chance. You're stuck with me to the end. Holy shit! Chew on that, you overgrown son of a bitch.
Leon, up here.
What the hell was...
Just get up here. Can't say I didn't warn you.
You said the virus turned people into monsters, not reptiles.
Fair point. I'm just impressed you made it in one piece.
So let me get this straight. Umbrella sells monsters like that to who? Our military? Somebody else's?
They don't sell the monsters. They sell the viruses that make them. And Annette is who makes the viruses. Scary as that alligator was, Annette is far more dangerous. You can run, Annette, but you can't hide. It's secret weapon time. Candy from a baby.
One thing to note with Ada's section,
Got you now.
all the ammo and items she picks up
Always been good at running.
will not transfer to Leon in any way, so feel free to use up your ammo.
Bravo. Gonna burn you alive now. You'll never get your filthy hands on the G. I'm not the only one after it. You realize that?
And you won't die alone.
Oh man, that was so adrenaline pumping.
Visitor
Got through it.
confirmed. Your ID is authorized until October 1st. Please return for this date.
Not gonna happen.
Alright, back to Leon.
Ada? Where are you?
So this ink ribbon we picked up before the alligator, just an FYI. $7,494 steps. So this is what I consider to be the half point of the game, I feel. So a little over halfway, but feeling just comfortable. All right. The first part of the sewers. I think I do the sewers in 2 segments with Leon.
That's a pleasant smell.
So I think I've picked up like too much handgun ammo. Like I have an excess that I think I get rid of later. But still just picking up everything ammo-wise that we can. So here we're gonna take care of all the zombies that can be decapped. We actually walked past a zombie that was hanging on the railing.
Oh, what the
He'll
hell?
fall later. But you can take care of him now. I just had forgotten about him. And this is why we have defense items. Just in case you make mistakes or something goes wrong. So it's nice that they put a knife right there in case you don't have one. Because we're going to need it for... It's sort of a dodge. So there's a G-adult right here. Hug the left wall. And he'll grab you, but you'll be on the side you want to be on. And then we just get past him like that. And it works every time. Nothing to worry about.
Cable car. Interesting.
So here, excuse me. So here, Leon doesn't have to deal with any zombies. Claire has 3 zombies in this room, so don't have to worry about that.
I'm coming, Ada.
I activate this switch here before I make the save because redoing the segments over and over, you don't want to keep hitting the switch every time you try again. So it's already activated, don't gotta worry about it. I was debating if I wanted to get rid of 1 shotgun ammo or 10 handgun ammo. Again, a lot of this routing was on the fly, and these final videos that I went with weren't always the most efficient, but again, we got through it. Anyway, yeah, not many steps added on, so close to 8,000 here. Alright, so this next segment has a lot of interesting factors to it, which make it longer, but I'll get to those subjects when they come. So, from here, we're going to be getting the 3 chess pieces, the keys, plugs, whatever they are, and coming back to the room we just loaded in. So, get rid of the ink ribbon so we have room for the handlebar. So in here is an upgrade for the shotgun that will increase the rate of fire, which will come in handy for some boss fights later. Down here, we're going to take care of these 2 zombies. Something to note about stairs and elevated ground is... if a zombie grabs you, you can't use a defense item. The animation doesn't allow for it. It's similar to when you get grabbed by 2 zombies, you just can't do anything about it. You have to take the hit, so be careful on stairways. I don't think I've mentioned that yet. We're killing him so he doesn't activate later at the very end. You don't want to forget him now and then at the very end of the segment have him get you. Yeah. So this tool here, probably my least favorite key item in the game, because you may have already guessed if you've played this before, or rather what I was talking about earlier with key items, how we have to use them for all their purposes before we can discard them. So we just picked up the treatment key here, so we have to visit the 2 doors which are close by. But we have to open one of those doors with that key so we can make our way to where we can use the tool. And it ends up being a passage back to the RPD, which is cool. Like, I really like that game design choice that they went with. It was awesome. But oh, this dodge here, just hug the left. Don't go direct so he doesn't bump you. But just stay left and you'll be just fine. But anyway, for the purposes of this challenge, it's a pain in the ass that we have to go all the way up there just to use it so we can discard it later. And that just adds steps that don't really serve a lot. Kill this guy so he doesn't come busting through the door after we leave. So here's the first door for the treatment key. I took a peek in here because I honestly didn't remember what was in here. Yeah, I ended up skipping, some large gunpowder with Leon. It all worked out, but I would like to reroute this so I could get more ammo for the run. So a lot of these runs I would, for like working on one segment, so like this segment in particular, I would get so far and then have to figure out what to do from there. And once I knew what to do, I would redo the segment and do it correctly. But some of these segments I ended up finishing with some unplanned routing towards the end. So you'll see that from time to time, but... So yeah, back to the secret room. And this is how you get back to the RPD. At least in the first scenario. In the second scenario, that door never closes. And yeah, we're just heading back down. And continuing when we get there. So like here, I think I was like, oh, I'll grab this gunpowder in case I get to mix it later. But then I was immediately like, oh, I need to grab the rook plug right now. So I made silly little things like that. So what I like to do here is shoot the zombies' legs. When they fall into the water, I mean, it makes it seem like they drown, even though they just came up from the water. They gave me some trouble. I missed some shots. Like, yeah, this is a little close. So yeah, like that. Yeah, he went down pretty smoothly. I also just want to say, I don't think that any of my strats are the safest or the most efficient, but it's what I went with and what I was comfortable with, and yeah. I also don't want to think that this is a tutorial by any means, but just the run I did, and I'm just putting it out there and letting you know what went through with it. So
Oh my god. This is getting
so here, this place is a nightmare casually, but quite easy with some strats. So we're just gonna get grabbed, let him put a grenade in his mouth. He'll be stunned. Get right by him. And walked right by this guy. And there's a third that's coming out of the tunnel on the right, but we don't even see him. So, but he's there. Be careful of him. So I'm not picking up the weapon that's in the locker there. And since I'm not picking up that weapon, if you're quick enough, you don't have to decap that zombie, because when you grab that plug, you'll lock him in that room. But I don't have enough room to grab the flamethrower, which is unfortunate because it's a good weapon. But I make do with what I got. So usually the G adult's hanging out right here, and there's a cheese strat to get past him, but he wasn't around, so we just got through easily. I got lucky. So there's a few ways you can deal with this guy. Here, get up on the platform, and I was supposed to jump down and just run past him, but Leon didn't jump down, so I had to wait till he sank back in the water. I wasn't worried about getting hit or anything. It was just like, oh, that didn't work. We're going to be heading back to the room we started this segment in. This way. A nice safe trip. We're just going to rearrange the plugs in the correct places and solve the puzzle. On a side note, I did like this puzzle that they went with in this section of the game, and how they did the sewers. It was quite well done. Very fun. So we come down here to grab that ink ribbon and make a save before the upcoming boss fight. Ooh. So, the steps are getting quite up there, and I was not sure if I would have enough, but I ended up I kept going with the run, and it all worked out in the end. So, might seem like I don't have a lot left, but I actually have plenty to work with from here on out. So the strat that I use for G2 is pretty consistent. In fact, this isn't the first time I've gone through this segment. I've done it a few times. I redid it actually, and I'll explain why later. So, but yeah, we trigger him. Stand here, it's safe. He won't hit us. We're gonna shoot the arm to speed up him busting in. Alright, so the strats are very specific, so I'll explain as I go. Here, we don't want to get too far. We want to shoot at him, and we want him to start freaking out in the room like that. So he's going to hang out in there for a while we get away and create some pretty good distance, actually. And we come down to the platform here. Grab this flash grenade, equip it, I believe. No. Okay. Oh yeah, so run up and just unload the shotgun. Just bloom like that. Get him down. So yeah, if you're quick enough, you can just get him stunned and he won't attack you. And that's why we had to create the distance. Use the flash grenade to ensure the cargo hits him. And so after that we unload into him again And just got to do it quickly so that we get him down before he has a chance to even start attacking.
Let's do this.
So, Crane swinging in the second time. We have to run over and bait him to run over that way so it doesn't miss. If you're unfamiliar with this fight, you have to hit him twice before he'll die.
Let's hope that's the last of them.
Cable car will take us down to Nest. My wristband's our ticket to ride.
Nice. Where'd you get that?
Borrowed it. Anyway,
So we're done with the sewers. We're going to be heading to the last area of the game, the labs.
this may be a one-way ride, so be prepared.
This tram is bound for Nest. Do not exit until the final destination.
So originally, I would make a save right now, but the labs were tricky to route properly,
For
and
safety, stand clear until
getting the level
doors
2
are
chip
opened.
is very easy, and I didn't want to keep doing that part over and over again when I was routing.
Until the doors are fully
So,
opened.
I redid this segment. I fought G2.
Stand clear
Before I save, we go get the level 2 chip,
Welcome. Nest.
because there's not a lot of threat to deal with. You just got to be quick. So, run in here, grab the grenade, turn around.
Our menu is designed for your nutritional
And we're just heading straight to this ladder.
biological research. Please enjoy.
There's a couple zombies to deal with, or potentially deal with, but no need when you're quick. So if you don't have a knife, there's a knife right there you can pick up, which you're going to be using immediately. So just run into him, knife him. Make sure you equip the level 2 chip immediately. 'Cause sometimes I would forget to put it in the wristband and the door wouldn't open. But yeah, use the knife and just run past him.
Dr. Lee, your presence is
Okay.
urgently requested by
Wonder where the
Chief
G-virus
Cartwright in the east area.
So ink ribbon, shotgun shells, make a save. All right, next segment. So we're going to be doing the bulk of the labs here. Alright, so casually, when you go through this for the first time, we're going to be coming up to a computer that we need to put codes in. Normally you'd have to go find the codes, come back, then put them in, then go back down. But we just put in the codes early and don't have to deal with any of that, which makes this segment rather quick. But it's tricky, so that weighs on itself.
Dispensing.
So grab the first key item that we need, solution container. Then we come in here. Do the puzzle. So I stocked up on hand grenades with the intention of using them in the last fight. They can be quite handy for damage and stun, or removing boulders in that fight. So that's why I'm hoarding hand grenades. I intended to get to that boss fight with at least 6, but I ended up getting there with less, and you'll see why. So we get the solution. So Ivy zombies. I was popping 2 bulbs, but really you just have to pop 1, and they'll give you a long enough stun animation to run past him. In here we're gonna decap these zombies so they don't wake up when we return. Yeah, Ivy zombies are weak to fire. We don't have the flamethrower, so we have to deal. So this liquor pops down, just keep to the left, and we'll be just fine. And take care of. These are my favorite zombies in the game, by the way. Yep. Alright, signal modulator. So when you come into this room, I was dealing with something, so that's why I paused here for a moment. I was actually under the impression that the signal modulator was noisy to the lickers, but that's not a thing. That's why I was solving the puzzle before the liquor room. But you can solve it in the room before you place it. No worries. Anyway, walk into this room so you don't attract the lickers. So get them to notice you. 1, 2. You don't want them to basically cut you off. That's why they were put there. So if you walk over here right away, they cut you off. So you want to get them around the table like so you can just walk by.
Welcome back, Dr. Lee.
Obviously, the safest thing is to walk completely through the room, but I always take a little dash at the end just for fun. Then the next step, freezing the solution.
Cooling complete.
Again, make sure you're walking so you don't attract the lickers. There are some items that I skipped out on in that room in the basement. Simply because I don't have space.
Dis-
That did the trick.
So we use the solution, all the Ivy zombies get put down for a short time, so be quick here. And when you pick up this chip, Mr. X is gonna come chasing after us, so we gotta be quick through here. Just for the sake of accuracy, I have my shotgun ready to shoot bulbs, and I completely mess up anyway. And then accidentally reload. Again, not ideal, but it worked. So I grab this flash grenade, I equip it with the intention of getting grabbed here. But as you see, I got right past him and didn't end up using it. But the flash grenade is to get grabbed. You use it, then you can walk by. We don't need to actually we don't need to grab those ink ribbons there, because there's just going to be an ink ribbon at the next save point. I had grabbed them as a precautionary.
Hopefully the G-Safe is up here.
I decided I was going to grab the hand grenade on my way out. I don't actually need it for the next fight anyway. We don't end up using the signal modulator for all its purposes, so it's going to stay in our inventory the rest of the game. The end of Leon's challenge is... it gets a little hard to manage your items. Oop.
All right, now back to Ada.
Attention. Unauthorized removal of a level.
So yeah.
Facility
And I don't know why I just didn't discard the ink ribbons, mix these gunpowders, and save, but I didn't. I generally make
attention.
these not very efficient decisions at the end of a segment, because it's the first time I'm getting to the end of it, and I'm just like, I should just save and figure out what to do
Of a level 4 virus.
next time. So, yeah, we have just over 2,000 steps left to work with, and I was a little worried at this point because we have 2 more boss fights to deal with. But again, it all worked out.
Facility lockdown. Initiated. Self-destruct sequence will begin when
So the shotgun is going to be used for this fight.
8. Attention. Unauthorized removal of a level 4 virus detected. Facility lockdown initiated. Self-destruct sequence will begin.
So we get rid of that eyeball, and then we got to turn around and get that one. And then standing about there will kind of bait him into that attack. You get a chance to attack the shoulder, and then he'll do that attack, and you get another chance. So then we just unload into these eyes here. So that first segment is pretty simple. Sometimes he doesn't always bait into the attacks you want, but he generally will. So, phase 2, flash grenade to get a stun. Kind of go for the same order of eyeballs. Yeah, there's 2 flash grenades in the arena. You pick them up and use them. So here, he went with the 4-hit combo, which puts him in a perfect spot to just blow that shoulder eye away. So we just have the 2 phases. So yeah, I wish I had more shotgun ammo for the fight, but... So from here, just unload handgun ammo into him until he's done, while avoiding attacks. Oh yeah, I used handguns to get some damage in. And I think I pick up another handgun during the fight and use that as well. I had to try this quite a few times to get it down. So I don't think I intended on going with this segment, but I did. I did this challenge with Leon before I did it with Claire, and a lot of the knowledge I had gained from Leon's run helped Claire's run go a lot more smoother. Yeah, that's G3.
Target has been neutralized. Ending quarantine. Self-destruct sequence will begin when lockdown is complete. Attention. Authorized removal.
So we're picking up
Service lift is now operational.
the rest of the resources that we need for the final tyrant fight.
Unauthorized removal of a level 4 attention. Self-destruct sequence initiated. Use the central elevator to evacuate immediately to the bottom level train platform.
So I completely missed, or forgot rather, that hand grenade, which I just rolled with it.
To the bottom level train platform.
Right, just heading to the last save point.
Attention, self-destruct sequence initiated. Use the central elevator to evacuate immediately to the bottom level train platform. 9 minutes until
So make sure you grab this knife here. It'll be needed
detonation.
right away. And we're going to make the final save here. So yeah, we really didn't get that many steps added on with the G3 fight, so we're sitting quite well.
Train platform.
Alright, final segment. Leon has to deal with these Ivy zombies in some capacity, so we're going to shoot a bulb and just run right away. Gives us just enough time to get past this one. And then we're going to get grabbed intentionally. Use a knife. And that's that.
Is this a fucking joke?
So for Super Tyrant coming up, I go into the fight with 3 grenades and the handgun without the stock upgrade. So no 3-round burst for this fight, which makes it tougher.
Destruct sequence initiated. Use the
But we got plenty of ammunition, so we'll make it work. So, start off, I think I fired 9 shots. But we want to be shooting him whenever we get a chance. So he does these 3-hit combos followed by these 2 hits. After the 2 hit, you got a little bit of a gap to get some shots in. Circling around the arena is actually a little trickier than it might seem. You don't want to get him, you don't want to feel like you're getting cornered at any point. So you want to kind of make it feel like he's always chasing you rather than coming into you at a dead end, so to speak. So yeah, you do this circling method. When he goes for those lunges, run towards him so he lunges past you and creates some distance. So these rocks fall. You can use them to essentially absorb his super attack. That just happened there. You have to learn this fight with the way I went about it. You have to know when he's going to be using those attacks. So the hand grenades are to stop him. You can shoot his heart to stop his super attacks from going off, but it's very tricky. Yeah, you just gotta learn his attacks and Like, I knew he was going to be doing his attack there, so I already had the grenade ready. Just getting damage in. When the fight starts, though, the rocket launcher that's about to drop will not drop for 2 minutes. So,
Where did this thing come from?
Grabbing the rocket launcher can be tricky. I got lucky and just read his attack and dodged him, and yeah, so that's that. And the last horde of zombies. Take a quick check at the step count because there's no place to check it from here on out. So 1,300 or 13,124 steps. And that is the run. So again, this was completing the Frugalist, Minimalist, and a small carbon footprint all in one playthrough on hardcore. I did this challenge just for fun. I noticed that other people have done the same challenge, but I couldn't find any videos of anyone doing it on the hardcore difficulty, so. But anyway, that is my Leon first challenge. Give the video a like, and thank you for watching.